Hey, good morning. It's Dr. Kate Walker, and I am on the road again. So today is July 30th, and I'm going to talk to you about collaboration in action. All through July, I've tried to convince you that collaboration's the name of the game, right? So that you can't get work done. You can't do this with a closed loop. You have to be able to cross-pollinate, right? Cross-pollinating means you're talking to people in different industries and you're learning and you're doing things. I even shared the story about one of the best business models I ever learned about was the hair salon model. And I learned that by what? Having coffee with someone who owns a hair salon. So today I'm going to talk about, well, I'm going to do more than talk about it. I'm going to walk my talk. I'm going to actually show you how I'm collaborating with a friend of mine. Now, we can talk about how that makes this entire trip that I'm taking a write-off, which is extremely awesome. But that's for another podcast, or Thursday 30. This isn't a podcast. So we will, I don't know, y'all, if you want to hear more about how to write off stuff, I'm happy to do that sometime. Maybe we can create a room. But as you know, this is free, so I got to do the commercials that pay the bills. Don't forget, I offer the 40-hour training to become an LPC and an LMFT Supervisor in Texas. Also, if you want to work with me, I have a course. It's called Texas Counselors Creating Badass Businesses. It's a course/membership, and there's a collaboration, there's a consultation that's included. And that's the best way to work with me because it allows you to work with me and we set goals. So you're not just sort of starting from scratch and we're trying to get to know each other. We cut right to the chase, get right to the meat right away. Saves us time, saves us money. It really keeps you focused. So if you do want to work with me, I'm happy to do that. Just know that I will point you to the course before I'll let you pay my fee to meet with me for an hour, right? I want to make sure we're both focused. All right, so I would like to introduce my collaborator buddy today. My friend Alexandra Ricks is a pizza owner. She owns a pizza place called Dee's Pizza. And I've known Alex since we were in music school together. She's the violinist, I'm the bass player. And so we both went to the University of Texas at Austin. We both graduated, I'm not going to tell you when. And then we went on and had our lives, and I went into business and counseling. My friend Alex went into business with her pizza restaurant. So everybody say hi to Alex.
Hey there, everybody.
And it's so cool because we're doing this Facebook Live from one of the most beautiful locations I've ever been at. I'm literally looking at the side of a cliff. It's exquisite. We just got off of a waterfall, and so we're spending the day talking about business and enjoying the scenery, and yes, you can do both. So one of the things I was asking Alex about this week, because our business models are so completely different, is, how do you decide what to sell? How do you decide units? How do you know how much food to buy? And I'm listening, and then something really interesting came up because of COVID. So Alex depends on a lot of summer business. Where we are right now, there is how much summer do you guys get, do you think?
Our summer starts mid-June when school gets out, and you're pretty much done with summer by Labor Day.
That's a short summer. So you have to get in most of your business, at least for, if you're a seasonal business, you got to work your butt off.
Yes.
Squirrel away the nuts.
Yep. We talk about gathering the nuts and putting them away for winter because when the tourists are gone, we're into fall. But we have 4 seasons here. So you have to morph your business to the particular season that's coming up. So once summer's done, then you're into kind of a lull because school started. Kids are going back to school. This year's going to be a test. It's going to be new. We don't know.
So this is the weird part because of COVID, right? Because Alex has had to go completely to takeout instead of dine in. And how cold does it get here?
30 below zero.
It gets freaking cold. So for dine in, it was not a problem. You squirrel away the nuts, you adjust for the people who are going to come dine in the winter, but now that there's no dine in, it's all takeout.
You have to make your business really you have to change your plan. You have to make it exciting and more accessible, because if I'm getting out of my car in my snow boots, I have to clear my driveway, I have to clear my windshield. I have to stomp my boots, run in, grab my pizza, and hope it hasn't frozen by the time I get it into my car. So there won't be any, eating in the restaurant. But then, you also depend on your snowmobilers and your skiers and people coming up to enjoy their, their winter breaks, the tubers, the snowshoers. So as long as you have, you just have to be willing to adapt and be flexible with your offering.
So, but there's a little bit of panic, right? I mean, when COVID hit, I know for us, and you know me, so right now I'm talking to Alex, I'm listening to Alex, and I'm thinking, okay, what does this have to do with counseling? Well, we have a seasonal business as well. I explained to Alex, we've got 2 seasons. Well, I've experienced 2 seasons, right? There's January 1st, kind of new year, new you, and we've got the folks who have had a marriage issue and maybe they've held it together through the holidays, and then they come to the, January, no, we're going to counseling. And then for those of you who see kiddos, your business usually picks up right when that first note comes home from school, right? And little Johnny's having difficulty here, little Susie won't quit kicking Johnny in the shins, so they're gonna need you for counseling. That's changed, and I don't know if you guys have thought about that. With COVID, all the telehealth, the fewer people who are able to come in and see you for play therapy or want to bring their kids in for counseling, and even the kids, we may see a huge drop in referrals to counseling because, the kids aren't interacting through a counselor, through a school counselor anymore. So anything we worked on or predicted as far as a seasonal business, those of us who worked with kids and families, it may get tossed out the window as kids are at home. Parents have to go back to work. If your referrals have been from a school counselor, you're going to have to plan for that. And so with Alex, I know you talked about, you know how to squirrel away nuts for the winter.
Yes.
But you have never had to squirrel away nuts for a winter with no dine-in.
With no customers. So, this is something Kate and I have talked a lot about. You are your business. You are the face. I may be selling pizza, but more and more, I have my customers calling in. I have a lot of loyal locals. And then I also have people who come here every summer. This is where they make their family memories. And they call me ahead and say, is this Alex? And I say, of course. Who's this? Hey, this is Simon and his family from Kansas City. We're flying in. We're going to come see you. So it made me really aware of the fact that as long as I can make them feel comfortable and calm and safe, and that my platform of a pizza restaurant and their experience is going to be the same even though they're not sitting at my table. They come in, they see no tables on the floor. It's so sad. Well, you know what? It just is. But the pizza is still the same. That can apply across the board for counselors. You have to become the warm fuzzy experience. Mm-hmm. You have to be their place to land. So this is where, as counselors, and I'm thinking, okay, so what does that mean? I've told you guys before, I am about intakes, right? But I'm also about referrals, word of mouth. I may not be able to, if I'm not going to count on school counselor referrals anymore, if I'm not going to count on this sort of seasonal flux because kids are doing online school now, kids aren't going back to school, so where are the behavior problems? Where are the families who, I know they're at home, don't get me wrong, right? But sometimes families don't take action until the school counselor or the teacher has brought something to their attention, right? So it could be, and again, we're trying to all predict the future here. We could see a real change because we don't have that referral source anymore. So where Alex is, she's able to, really provide excellent customer service. She's able to provide the friendly face and that voice on the phone, and it brings on that recognizability. This may be for us, how we translate that for us. Gosh, I don't know. I'm thinking like how we answer the phone. Of course, this is how we take our referrals. Maybe it's a video Tuesday Minute to the school that they can send out via online to parents, showing you, like, instead of getting a flyer sent home in the backpack or taped onto your child when they get home, like, hey, these services are available. Maybe people don't know about telehealth. Maybe they don't know that everybody's going virtual. So maybe it's a little.
So putting your face, like making something like this, like a video,
to be sent out, across the board, like these, like a commercial, but you're not on the TV.
Yeah. So you would have to, so there are a lot of you I know who have videos, you have promotional videos. And so maybe this is the time to add that video to your website, since that may be the only way your clients are going to ever get to know you is on a video, right? So if you don't have a video where they can see you, I know some of you, you decorate your offices in your videos. I know somebody, I mean, we're going to have to create a virtual space, I guess. I mean, kind of like you. It's like I went into a restaurant, right? The tables are stacked up there and there's no seating, but you really pay so much attention to kind of the outside and the flowers that you put out there and the decor, the seasonal decor. I mean, everything is just really, people get an experience of you. Right?
Yes.
You are like, they're coming to Alex's Pizza, basically.
Yes.
Right?
People need the connection. We're all covered.
That's right.
Look, this is our new view, right? This is it. You can't see my nose. You can't see my mouth. All you see are my eyes. So you have to be able to sell. You have to pick something that's your strength. And how are you going to get those people to do the telehealth without this? You know, there's a connection. People are missing those.
They've got to trust you.
Physical connections. Not physical connections. That's not the right term. They have to trust.
Face to face.
Face to face. They have to see you, look in your eye, and hear the voice and go, okay, I like that. I feel comfortable.
And the only way we can do that, because there's always a spot in collaboration when you're cross-pollinating, of course, where the difference is going to be obvious, right? So Alex doesn't have to worry about confidentiality. We do, right? We can't solicit our client testimonials. We can't say, hey, Joe had a great experience in counseling and he found 10 friends and they had a great experience too, right? So there's always that point where we're not able to always be exactly like our cross-pollinating collaborators, right? So, but this idea that somehow we have to form a human connection in a virtual area and then plan for, okay, so then, gosh, I guess I'm thinking about squirreling away the nuts. I mean, Alex has to put away money for oil in the winter, right? So she has to plan ahead for oil, which...
And firewood.
And firewood. And firewood. Oh my gosh, right? So... for us, I don't know if I mean, have you thought about your expenses for the winter? I mean, when Alex says oil and firewood, and I'm like, oh, I don't have to plan for that. But, if my business drops off in November, so just talking with her, I was able, because I've had a pretty good summer, I've already put away my money for December. So I've got an account and I've gone ahead and I've put away, at least half my salary for the month of December. And so every time I have a good month, I'm going to squirrel away my nuts a little bit and put some money in the account just in case my business drops off. I mean, I would have done that anyway, but if I'm counting on, I mean, you're counting on now, from now until when?
Next summer.
Well, but when is your business going to drop off? Like, when do you guys get your first snow?
Usually end of like Halloween.
Okay. So do you think your business is going to drop off?
It'll drop off in September, and we usually have had this big fair, like all towns. You have these fairs that would bring into our town over 300,000 people. That's not happening this year. So none of us know what that's going to look like.
Here, put in your password. Dave just texted. We're checking our sound. Oh, the video looks good. Okay, good. Thanks, Dave.
Yeah, so I think because there's so much unknown, you don't know what kind of clients you're going to have. I don't know what kind of business I'm going to have. Word of mouth is huge.
But you're scared, right?
Of course,
this
yes.
is our first winter in COVID, right? I don't know what this is going to look like.
No, and it's going to surge. And we all have this, warm, fuzzy feeling about kids going back to school, and I hope it works, but it's unknown. It's not like, oh, it's back to school and let's go tax-free day and go get all the supplies,
all the things we counted
on, and now people are, by the middle of October it's going to be dark at 4:30, like dark.
That affects your business too.
It affects business. It affects moods. It affects, I would assume, people's psyche for sure.
I've never really done a whole lot as far as my business, but this might be the year that we really bump up our blogging. We talked about video a second ago, so they can connect with you, emotionally. But this may be the year that we really have to step up our blogging game when we're talking about seasonal affective disorder, or family issues related to being quarantined and having problems with loved ones, even getting sick and dying from COVID. Maybe that's where we're missing this. Like if we're not putting out, if we're counting on the same old thing to get us business in the good times, right? Our two, surges that we count on in September and January, and those things don't happen, and families are confused because they don't have a school counselor to connect us, right?
Right.
Then we've got to put out some information and think of different in different ways, right?
Absolutely.
So, well, how are you planning on, or have you thought about it? How are you planning on getting your delivery like?
I have not done the online ordering yet, and I think that's a piece that I've got to do. I've got a new point of sales coming in that's going to relieve a lot. It's going to be more streamlined, so it's going to relieve stress in my kitchen, because we're working in a very hot kitchen with masks and all the stuff, and it takes its toll. I think too, I'm planning for people, once unemployment, the extra $600 every week, it ends. Like, I don't even know what day it is. It probably already ended. It's the 30th. We're at the end of July. Okay, so I am expecting business to drop off because unemployed people aren't getting their extra $600.
You're not going to do the extra
So
pay?
if you're now only getting $172 a week, you're not going to buy pizza.
Okay, so that brings up another thing, right? So if people are now experiencing evictions, they're losing the extra $600, their power's getting shut off. Those of us who are cash pay, we may have to look at our pay structure, right? We may have to look at how we charge. We may have to come up and brainstorm a little bit about different ways to charge people if we're trying to stay off insurance. I know for me personally, I want to stay off insurance at all costs. But for some of you, maybe this is the time to get on insurance, because people will feel like they need to use their insurance more because they don't have that disposable income, right? So, you're planning for that too then, it sounds like.
Right.
Okay, so it sounds to me like even though we're not selling pizzas, we're all kind of in the same boat where we're having to get creative about how to make our business work in our first winter with COVID, and what winter means, if we don't have a school counselor connecting people to our services, if we don't have a PTO meeting where we can go do that speech, right, in person. It's that promotional video that we have to put on our website so people can feel us talk, feel us emotionally, how we do business. It might be blogs, it might be podcast information that you offer PTOs and say, hey, look, link to this if you have family suffering. Link to this, because using online, delivery gets backed up, right? I mean, if you have somebody that's going to take 10 minutes on the phone with an order, that's 10 minutes that you're not selling pizza.
Right. So online is the way to go. And the beauty of, here's the positive side of COVID, everybody's getting more versed in computers and how to navigate.
I didn't even think about
People
that.
have had to go figure out Zoom. They've had to figure out FaceTiming, including myself. I'm like, wow, I never really have used FaceTime. I'm going to try it. So my dad, 93 years old, in an assisted living facility, I FaceTimed him. It was wonderful. So everybody's having to learn new ways to navigate around the media, the social media.
I didn't even think about that, right? It's no more, I just don't do technology, or you know what, I'm not a digital person. You're going to have clients now who are savvy. I didn't even think about that. So with telehealth, I think a barrier for me was, nobody's going to want to do that. Now we know they like to do that, and now it's going to maybe translate into our marketing, right? If you don't have an online scheduling system, get one. If you don't have a way to schedule a 10-minute consultation, get one. Time is money. And you can now start maybe raising the bar a little bit and giving people more ways, because they're not going to be so shy about utilizing technology in their own home, in the way that they're doing business and finding doctors. I mean,
and it's the only way they can check you out. That's not the right term to use.
No,
I'm sure.
I can check you. I'm checking you out. We watched Eurovision last night. I'm checking you out.
Great movie. You should watch it.
It was a good movie. It was fun.
Netflix,
Very funny.
It's free. having kind of that online ordering platform, if you will, for counseling, that's a great place to have a video, because you
What
can
if we,
20-second sell of yourself. Why am I going to telehealth with you? What's going to pull me into your screen? Why am I going to go and download Zoom to do telehealth outside of the obvious? I need help.
and only the HIPAA compliant Zoom.
Yes. Hey, I don't know. Do what's right. You
Do
know.
what's right. All right. So this is just, it was funny. I'm going to tell you how I prepped Alex for this. I said, you know, we went to this place, we saw the waterfalls. I said, oh, by the way, we need to go pull over because you're going to be in my Thursday 30. And that's it. And I've been talking to her a little bit over the past few days about, you know, business, because again, that's kind of why I'm here, you know, and it's also how I write off the trip. But it's been, I put her on the spot, right? So I really am hearing new things that make me click. So challenge yourself. I know we're getting to the end of July, and I know that July was all about collaboration and learning new things, but that's how you start to morph your business. We're not reinventing the wheel. Everybody is having to navigate this. Everybody is kind of panicking right now because we don't know which month, if any, will be the month that we need to buy oil, or, you know, we run out of money, right? So if you have extra cash, if you're able to inject anything into your business right now, sit and talk with another person in another industry. Talk, and don't be specific. I mean, I didn't really front load this with, hey, you have to make it relate to counseling, right?
No, not at all.
Right? So
and
she's
there's
just
no way I could, except I've been in therapy. That's it.
So knowing that, you know, that you're talking to someone who's not going to try to, well, how do I put this into counseling terms? No, they're just going to talk about their business. They're going to talk about their struggles. They're going to talk about what they're worried about, how they're having to adjust and adapt. They're going to hear how you've had to adjust and adapt. And you know what? You'll do something good. You're going to shine a little light into their business because you'll be able to give them something that they hadn't thought about either, right? We're ahead of the game. Y'all, my husband did a telehealth appointment with his doctor, and I didn't even know he knew how. No, I'm lying. Dave, I know you're on here and you're good at Zoom. But I mean, that was new, right? I've never done a telehealth appointment with my doctor. It's here to stay for a while. So if you're struggling, and even if you're not, I'm going to tell you, squirrel away the nuts. Figure out how to do this. Have coffee. Do a Zoom coffee. If you can't get away and do some socially distanced climbing and hiking and wearing your cool rainbow, what is this called?
Neck
gaiter? Neck gaiter.
It's a face covering.
It's a face covering.
To be official.
So yeah, we wear these on the hiking paths, right? We wear these wherever you are. So do the work. Meet with a person. August, we're going to pack our backpack. See what I did there? We're getting ready for our, what I've always thought of as our big push, as our big surge. September, October, the big surge of families reaching out, needing help because kiddos, because college students, because marriages, right? So we're still going to do that. And August is all about getting every tool we possibly can, financial, time management, support from loved ones, reorganizing the way we, get money, put money away, spend money, right? Ways to invest in your business. If you're like me and you had a great summer, let's talk about what to do with the extra cash. If you have money, remember, don't buy business cards. If you buy anything, do not pay for a t-shirt to get shot out of a cannon with your name on the back. Don't do that. So maybe in August, one of the things we can talk about as we pack our backpack and get ready for the school year to begin is what to do with the cash so that you're squirreling away the nuts, so you're making good investments to connect with people in the age of COVID. All right, that's it for me. I gotta go. We're not gonna climb, right?
No, we're driving.
We're gonna drive.
We're gonna drive a beautiful drive.
We're gonna drive to the top of the mountain. We tried to climb.
We won't do that again.
No, we're not gonna try to climb.
We're not scramblers.
No, we're not scramblers, and
Hikers.
we're over 50. So no scrambling. No scrambling. You guys have a great day. I will see you next week at the Thursday 30. Next week's Thursday 30. Dr. Kate Walker, have a great day.
Thanks
Bye.
for having me.
Whoop.
Peace out.